Hello and welcome back to your own channel Indian Defense Analysis, where we bring to you all the latest development happening in the defense sector.
The Indian Navy has reported a fire incident on INS Vikramaditya, which was undergoing sea trial after 18 months of refit cum maintenance. As per Indian Navy, during a planned sortie for conduct of sea trials off Karwar, an incident of fire was reported on board INS Vikramaditya on 20th July 2022. The fire was brought under control by ship's crew using onboard system and no casualties have been reported. A board of inquiry has also been ordered to investigate the incident. However, this is not the first time. A minor fire also reported during the refit cum maintenance phase when she was docked at Karwa Naval Base in coastal Karnataka in May last year. In April 2019, a young naval officer had died when fire broke out on board the aircraft carrier. INS Vikramaditya is Indian Navy's largest short takeoff but assisted recovery stow-bar aircraft carrier and warship converted from Russian decommissioned Admiral Gorshkov vertical takeoff and landing VTOL missile cruiser carrier. However, what many of us are not aware is that Admiral Gorshkov was not an aircraft carrier. Also, back in 1996, it went into mothballs due to a boiler room explosion. It was a decade-old vessel and spent 8 years languishing in mothballs. Then why Indian Navy decided to choose the old junk for its aircraft carrier, which was an important strategic asset? The story of INS Vikramaditya begins from early 2000 when Navy went for shopping its new aircraft carrier. Then Navy's only aircraft carrier INS Virat was set to retire in 2007. Navy was in need to replace Virat as soon as possible. At that time, the options before India were limited. US and France and Italy were the only countries which were building aircraft carrier, but they were too costly for Indian checkbook, which left India with no other option but to look for Russian warship. India struck an initial deal of $974 million to transform Russian vessel Admiral Gorshkov into an aircraft carrier. It was a Soviet-era vessel commissioned in 1988 as Baku. It was a Kiev-class cruiser vessel capable of carrying 12 Yak-38 aircrafts and 16 helicopters. After the dissolution of USSR in 1991, the Baku was inherited by Russia, renamed as Admiral Gorshkov. However, the Russian economy was facing tough time and could not properly maintain the vessel, leading to a boiler explosion in 1996, and then the vessel was decommissioned and lying thereafter as a giant metallic junk. Meanwhile, Indian Navy saw a good opportunity to transform the old warship into a strategic asset and struck a deal with Russia. Russia wants to transform the helicopter carrier into an aircraft carrier. The vessel's partial flight deck had to be converted into an aircraft carrier with a launch ramp and a flight deck just over 900 feet long so that it can support 24 MiG-29K fighters and up to 10 Kamov helicopters. Apart from this, there were many changes and modifications done, such as new radars, new boilers for propulsion, new arrestor wires for catching landing aircraft, and new deck elevators. All 2,700 rooms and compartments were refurbished and new wiring were to be laid throughout the ship. An aircraft carrier for less than $1 billion sounds too good to be true, and that's what happened with India. In 2007, a year before the delivery of Vikramaditya, a new drama unfolded. Russia's Sevmash shipyard, which was refurbishing the vessel, could not meet the deadline, and even worse, it asked for $2.9 billion in total to complete the job, which is more than twice the original cost. On top of that, the cost of sea trials ballooned from original $27 million to $550 million. Interesting part was that Sevmash was specialized in only submarine construction with no prior experience in an aircraft carrier. The warship was originally built in Ukraine. By 2009, the project was in deadlock. the then Russian president has to make a high-profile visit to Sevmash shipyard where the work on Vikramaditya was close to 50% complete. Indian government agreed to pay $2.9 billion for the complete refurbishment. It was like buying Maruti Suzuki Swift at a price of Volkswagen GTI. After the deal was revised, the Sevmash magically started working so hard that they completed the other half of the upgrades in just 3 years. Vikramaditya finally entered sea trials in August 2012 and commissioned into Indian Navy in November 2013. Back in April 2010, another scandal over the project emerged when it was announced that a senior Indian Navy officer had probably been blackmailed in order to influence the negotiations over the cost of Admiral Gorshkov to India. A senior figure of Indian Navy supervising the refit of the carrier, working as principal director for the project, was discharged from service due to this incident. We really don't want to dig deeper into it, as the more you go deep, the muckier it gets. However, the worries do not end here. Vikramaditya has a huge list of challenges in its maintenance too. There were 10 Indian vendors, 200 other vendors from Russia, Croatia, Denmark, Germany, Italy, Japan, Finland, France, Norway, Poland, Sweden, and even UK were involved in the supply of its spare, which is a big logistic nightmare. Vikramaditya lacks active air defense. The ship has chaff and flare systems only to lure away anti-ship missiles, but she does not have any close-in weapon system like American flanks. The Navy had to transfer an Israeli Barak missile system from a Godavari-class ship to an aircraft carrier. In fact, it did not have a close-in weapon system to shoot down aerial threat in close range, which was again refitted with 4 AK-630 CIWS during ongoing refit from Godavari-class ship. In summary, Russia charged India for refitting an old mothballed warship for which it did not have an expertise and did its R&D at a cost of Indian exchequer. It's a reminder why India needs to be self-reliant in defense sector, and thankfully we have built our own indigenous aircraft carrier ISE Vikrant.
This was today's update. Please let us know what is your views about these in comment section. Feel free to post your comments and suggestions about any topic related to defense sector on which you want to hear from us. With this, I would like to say goodbye and Jai Hind friends. Please like and subscribe our video if you have not done already. We will be soon back with more interesting and amazing development happening in defense sector.